A mysterious cultivation world known as a game suddenly appeared above humanity, opening a gateway between two different worlds. Players entered the cultivation world to fight monsters, grow stronger, and bring powerful items and cultivation techniques back into reality. But one day, disaster struck when countless monsters from the cultivation world invaded the real world through dimensional portals. Since the monster invasion began, human cities were thrown into chaos as portals continued to appear across the skies. Terrifying giant monsters rampaged through the streets, slaughtering civilians while desperate humans fled in fear. The endless war between humans and monsters devastated the world, turning once prosperous cities into burning ruins. One city after another collapsed under the monsters' attacks, leaving humanity on the brink of extinction. The few surviving humans gathered in the last remaining city, desperately defending their final stronghold against endless monster hordes. As the battle intensified, a warrior realized that if the city fell, the entire human race would be doomed forever. In the middle of the chaotic battlefield, a mysterious crimson object suddenly descended from the sky, shocking everyone present. A terrifying being known as the Final Demon Lord descended onto the battlefield, radiating overwhelming power that terrified the remaining survivors. The surviving warriors realized the situation had become hopeless, as endless monsters surrounded them after the Final Demon Lord's arrival. A legendary cultivator named Sword Immortal Gu Qingshan stepped forward and decided to use the forbidden technique Return Together to kill the demon god. Gu Qingshan prepared his ultimate sword technique, believing it was the only attack powerful enough to destroy the final demon lord. One of the surviving warriors desperately tried to stop Gu Qingshan, warning that using the technique would also cost him his life. Gu Qingshan ignored the warning and charged forward, declaring that this sword strike was humanity's only remaining hope. Without hesitation, Gu Qingshan launched himself directly toward the towering final demon lord with unstoppable determination. The surviving humans gathered their remaining spirit energy and entrusted all of humanity's hopes to Gu Qingshan. While preparing his final attack, Gu Qingshan vowed to completely end the endless wars and suffering caused by the monsters. A massive spiritual power erupted behind Gu Qingshan as countless souls and energies gathered together to support his final strike. Gu Qingshan unleashed his ultimate sword strike, sending a blazing golden attack directly toward the final demon lord. A massive explosion shook the battlefield as Gu Qingshan's final attack collided with the demon lord with overwhelming force. Although Gu Qingshan succeeded in killing the final demon lord, humanity still lost the war and the world began collapsing into destruction. Sometime later, scavengers searched through mountains of corpses at night, hoping to loot valuables from the dead despite the danger of monsters. One ruthless scavenger proudly explained that dead bodies were filled with treasures and useful items worth stealing. While searching the corpses, one of the scavengers discovered a strange golden sword hidden beneath a dead body. The scavenger became excited after realizing the mysterious sword looked extremely valuable and far from ordinary. Greedy for profit, the scavenger decided to stab the corpse again, before taking the strange sword for himself. At that exact moment, the supposedly dead young man suddenly opened his eyes, shocking everyone nearby. The young man instantly blocked the scavenger's attack with incredible speed, leaving the looter stunned and terrified. The revived young man instantly counterattacked and stabbed the scavenger leader with the mysterious golden sword. The remaining scavengers panicked after witnessing their leader get killed so suddenly by the man they believed was a corpse. Confused and disoriented, the young man questioned where he was and why he was still alive after dying alongside the demon lord. One terrified scavenger could only stare at the revived man in complete shock, unable to understand what was happening. Suddenly, a monstrous blue hand reached out from the darkness, signaling the arrival of another terrifying creature. Before the young man could react, the monster lunged forward and grabbed him with overwhelming force. The creature pinned him to the ground effortlessly, making him realize just how monstrously strong it was. The scavenger transformed into a horrifying demon-like monster with glowing red eyes and razor-sharp teeth. Even while choking him, the monster arrogantly declared that killing it would not be so easy. Despite being trapped beneath the monster, the young man secretly prepared a counterattack with his blade, waiting for the perfect chance to strike. The young man finally escaped the monster's grip and created some distance while the creature stumbled backward. Coughing heavily from the attack, the young man realized that the monsters in this world were still extremely dangerous. Angered by the ambush, the young man prepared to strike back with deadly intent while gripping the golden sword tightly. With lightning-fast movement, he raised the glowing sword above his head and launched a powerful counterattack. The young man effortlessly overpowered the monster and crushed it before it could react properly. As the battle ended, he began analyzing the strange battlefield and wondered whether he had returned to the cultivation world connected to the game. Confused by the situation, he repeatedly tried to summon the system interface, but nothing responded to his calls. The young man became suspicious after realizing the system that once guided players had completely disappeared. Unable to understand the situation, he questioned what exactly had happened after his supposed death and resurrection. One terrified survivor looked at the mysterious young man and nervously asked whether he was truly human or some kind of ghost. The young man calmly replied that anyone who had killed thousands of monsters would never ask such a foolish question. The frightened survivor demanded to know the young man's identity and asked to see the badge hanging from his waist. Confused by the request, the young man looked down at the strange badge attached to his belt. The badge revealed the name Gu Qingshan along with the Shachi camp insignia from the cultivation world's military forces. After seeing the badge, the survivor quickly realized Gu Qingshan belonged to the Shachi camp and immediately treated him as an ally. The survivor urged Gu Qingshan to leave the dangerous battlefield and return to the camp before more monsters appeared. While examining the corpses, Gu Qingshan noticed that everyone was wearing outdated leather armor from nearly 10 years ago. Suspicious of the strange situation, Genshin questioned the survivor about the current year. The survivor answered that it was the 681st year of Yongping, shocking Gu Qingshan completely. Hearing the date, Gu Qingshan suddenly realized something impossible may have happened after his death. Gu Qingshan suddenly realized that he had somehow returned to the cultivation world from 10 years in the past. At that moment, the long-lost system interface finally reappeared and confirmed that time flow abnormalities had been detected. The system successfully reset Gu Qingshan's identity and recognized him as a Vanguard Army soldier from Shaoqi camp. After confirming his identity, the system acknowledged Gu Qingshan's existence and fully synchronized with him once again. The War God system officially activated and announced that Gu Qingshan had been reborn to restart his path of adventure. The War God system flickered to life before Gu Qingshan's eyes, and for a moment, he could only stare at it in disbelief. The shock hit him hard. He lowered his gaze into the rain, jaw tight, mind racing. He barely had time to think. A massive blue wolf monster exploded out of the darkness, all fangs and fury. Behind him, a terrified survivor screamed that they were all going to die. Gu Qingshan didn't even flinch. He glanced back and told the panicking man to calm down. It was just a normal monster. Nothing more. He launched himself at the beast and drove his blade in with explosive force. The monster recoiled, stunned that a human had actually hurt it. He sent it flying across the rain-soaked ground. But victory was short-lived. His sword skills refused to activate. In this body, in this timeline, his power was a fraction of what it once was. The wolf came back harder, roaring with unbridled ferocity. Gu Qingshan gripped his blade and accepted the bitter truth. Brute force wouldn't work. His only weapon now was 10 years of hard-won battle experience. As the beast lunged with its jaws wide open, Gu Qingshan held his ground. He knew exactly where to strike. These monsters had one true weak point: the throat. The moment the monster committed to its dive, he drove the blade straight up through its throat in one clean motion. The monster collapsed in a burst of dark energy. Gu Qingshan stood at the center of it all, completely still. Even Olivia's enhanced her. Even Olivia Mikan retreating in this place looked like fallen human territory, a reminder that the world outside had already been lost. Gu Qingshan turned and felt his stomach drop. Through the rain and darkness, glowing eyes were approaching from every direction, drawn by the smell of blood from the sea of corpses around him. One monster had already pushed him to his limit. Now an entire herd was closing in. There was simply no way to fight them all. He sprinted toward the surviving soldier and demanded to know if there was anywhere nearby they could hide before the monsters reached them. The soldier's eyes lit up. Barracks ahead, hidden behind a concealment magic formation. It was their only shot. The two of them ran hard through the storm with the monster horde right on their heels. A soldier at the entrance waved desperately, urging Gu Qingshan to hurry. The two of them rushed through the glowing barrier gate together and disappeared inside. Outside, the monsters spread across the area, sniffing, circling, finding nothing. The formation had swallowed the camp whole. Inside the barrier, the camp stood untouched. Torches burned. Weapons leaned against the walls. A pocket of safety hidden in a fallen world. A bronze-shouldered soldier assured Gu Qingshan the camp was completely safe. The formation made them invisible. But then his voice dropped. Since they had entered, he had felt tremors running through it. He wasn't sure how much longer it would hold. The soldier asked Gu Qingshan what they should do. Gu Qingshan replied that the formation needed spirit stones to hold longer. Without them, it was only a matter of time before it collapsed. The soldier immediately ran off into the camp to search for any spare spirit stones, leaving Gu Qingshan standing alone in the rain. Alone with his thoughts, Gu Qingshan pieced it together slowly. He had died fighting the final demon lord. But that wasn't a moment ago. That was his previous life. He stared out at the rain, voice quiet and steady. In his previous life, humanity had assumed the cultivation world was nothing more than a virtual game. That assumption cost them everything. By the time the monsters invaded and people finally understood the cultivation world was real, it was already too late. The destruction of the human race had been sealed, but now everything had changed. Being reborn 10 years into the past meant one thing. He still had a chance to stop it. His jaw tightened. First, he needed to survive. The memory of the earlier fight gnawed at him. His sword skills had failed completely. Relying on raw combat alone wasn't sustainable. He needed a real solution. Then it hit him. The War God system. He turned toward it, eyes sharp, suddenly remembering what had appeared when he first arrived. The system screen opened and laid out his current status. Everything about it was different from the game system he once knew. But that didn't matter. Survival did. One stretch of chi condensation. He let out a slow breath. No wonder his body felt like dead weight. At this level, he could barely send spirit power, let alone wield it. Then the system chimed again. The War God operation screen had activated and was asking if he wished to unlock the first function. He didn't hesitate. Activate. The War God skill function came online. The system explained its core ability. By physically touching a weapon, he could directly comprehend the combat techniques of every warrior who had ever wielded it, at the cost of soul power. Gu Qingshan's eyes lit up. He could learn skills just by picking up weapons. Then his expression fell. There was no sword nearby. He reached out and grabbed the closest blade he could find instead. The system scanned the blade and returned its history. A military standard scimitar and the combat skills embedded within it began to surface. Two skills appeared. Horizontally, sweeping 1,000 soldiers and open the door to see the mountain, each costing 1 point of soul power. He studied them carefully, then shook his head. One monster had already nearly broken him. Fighting a whole group at close range would be suicide. He set the blade down and picked up the bow instead, his mind already shifting to a different approach. Ranged attacks, that was the answer. Kill from a distance, build up cultivation, and never let the monsters get close enough to overwhelm him. The system scanned the bow and returned 4 skills. Stabilize at 2 p-teens, consecutive shooting at 2 p-teens, precise at 4 p-teens, and 2 swallows fly together at 6 p-teens. 2 swallows fly together looked devastating, but 6 soul power points was beyond his current limit. He made his decision without hesitation. Stabilize and consecutive shooting. Practical, affordable, and exactly what he needed. Streams of glowing blue energy surged around him as the bow skills poured into his body, the system transferring the knowledge of every archer who had ever held that weapon directly into his hands and instincts. The transfer completed. Gu Qingshan raised the bow, feeling the new weight of the skills settle into his muscles. A quiet smile crossed his face. Time to see what these moves could actually do. 3 arrows flew out in rapid succession, each one striking clean and true. Gu Qingshan studied the result with a critical eye. The accuracy was solid, but the power was lacking. At this cultivation level, the arrows simply didn't hit hard enough. A thought crossed his mind. He gripped the bow tighter and poured spirit power directly into the draw, wondering if it would make any difference. The moment spirit power surged into the bow, golden energy crackled and blazed around him, far more violent than he expected. The arrow tore through the air like a bolt of lightning and detonated on impact, blasting the target apart in a burst of golden flame. Gu Qingshan watched the smoking wreckage and nodded slowly. Stabilize and consecutive shooting were more than enough. With spirit power behind them, the 2 moves had real killing force. He felt the pieces falling into place. The War God system could carry him through the lower tier monsters. He would figure out the rest as he went. A deep rumble shook the ground beneath his feet. He frowned, thinking it was an earthquake, then caught himself. The sound was coming from outside the barracks. He rushed out and stopped cold. The concealment formation around the barracks was fracturing, green light spilling out through the cracks as the barrier began to break apart. Through the collapsing formation, a colossal shadow rose up in the rain. Someone shouted the name with pure dread. The faceless giant had arrived. A towering figure rose through the rain, its body featureless and gray, crowned with swirling tendrils of glowing teal energy. Someone screamed the name out loud. It was the faceless giant. Wenshin stared up at it, his mind racing. The faceless giant had only ever appeared when players first entered the cultivation world. It had no business being here now. Below him, a flashback showed the chaos of that first encounter, players scattering as the creature moved. He couldn't understand why it would appear now. A cold thought crept in. Had something changed from his previous timeline? Was the past he returned to no longer the same one he remembered? The soldier beside him stumbled back and shouted in disbelief, demanding to know what kind of monster that was. Gu Qingshan answered him quietly. It was a nascent soul-stage monster, the faceless giant. The faceless giant turned and began moving toward them. Someone screamed that it was coming. The soldier's face went white. He cried out that they were completely done for and there was no way they would survive. Gu Qingshan planted his feet and raised a hand to steady the soldier. He told him to stop panicking. They were not going to die. Gu Qingshan fired, and the arrow struck the giant hard. The creature flinched and veered away from them. Gu Qingshan exhaled slowly, just as he expected. The faceless giant had not been targeting them at all. The soldier returned and looked up in horror. The concealment formation overhead was cracking apart, splitting with deep fractures of light. He turned to Gu Qingshan and demanded to know what was happening to it. Gu Qingshan scanned the damage and gave his assessment. The tremor from the faceless giant had drained the concealment formation's spirit power. The barrier was failing. With the formation broken, their location was fully exposed. Monsters in the area were already picking up the scent and closing in. Gu Qingshan moved without hesitation. If they let the monsters keep gathering, the numbers would become unmanageable. He had to clear them out now before it got worse. He shouted at the soldier to run and use the spirit stones to recharge the formation immediately. The soldier stammered a reply and sprinted off. Gu Qingshan activated Stabilize and loosed a charged arrow. It cut through the air and pierced the nearest monster clean through. He stood in the rain, blue spirit energy burning steadily around him, and acknowledged the obvious. Ranged attacks were the right call against these monsters. More monsters closed in from the tree line, pushing forward with glowing eyes and bared fangs. He activated consecutive shooting and unleashed a rapid volley. 3 arrows flew in quick succession and tore through the advancing pack. The system updated immediately. Experience bar full, cultivation raised to second stage of chi condensation. Stabilize had broken through and leveled up to secure. Gu Qingshan took it in and nodded. Growth-type skills fit his situation perfectly. This was a path he could actually build on. But leveling up was not what weighed on his mind. He stared into the rain with a hard expression. The real question was why the faceless giant had appeared here at all. Something in this timeline had already gone wrong. The soldier reported back that the spirit stones were set. The concealment formation had enough power to hold for a while longer. Gu Qingshan stood alone in the rain, his expression unmoved. He said quietly that he was afraid it would not be that simple. The soldier frowned, confused by the warning. The soldier pointed out that the faceless giant had already left and asked what there was still to worry about. Gu Qingshan answered him plainly. The faceless giant never traveled alone. Where it went, high-tier soldiers followed. He laid out the problem clearly. The concealment formation could not stop high-tier monsters, and the faceless giant had already sensed their presence earlier, yet chose not to attack. That meant something worse was coming. The faceless giant moved through the rain in the distance, its teal energy still burning. Gu Qingshan watched it go and felt the weight of what he could not yet see. Something big was about to happen. Morning broke. The sky cleared and sunlight fell over the watchtower of the barracks, the red flag snapping in the wind. From the watchtower, a figure spotted movement on the horizon. A massive wave of monsters was rolling in across the open ground, churning everything in its path. Gu Qingshan was already at his post on the watchtower. He called out the alarm. They had arrived. 2 enormous figures led the wave. Someone identified them with dread. The Steel Blood Demon and the evil ghost Fire Snake had come. Gu Qingshan studied the 2 high-tier monsters carefully. They were not attacking. They were moving fast, headed somewhere with clear purpose. Both of them were traveling in the same direction as the faceless giant. Without hesitation, Gu Qingshan leapt from the watchtower and hit the ground hard, already moving before the soldier below could react. The soldier stared after him in bewilderment and asked where all these high-tier monsters were going. Before anyone could answer, the soldier pointed at the sky and shouted. Something was falling from above. A massive column of force slammed into the ground between the 2 of them, throwing up a wall of dust and debris. The soldier stumbled back and demanded to know what it was. The thing that had fallen was a large bird creature, battered and bleeding, its feathers matted and torn. It muttered weakly that it was exhausted and that it had almost caught up. Gu Qingshan and the soldier stared at it. The soldier squinted and said it looked like a bird. The creature snapped its head toward them. Its eyes went wide and bloodshot. It screamed the word humans over and over, clearly terrified. It tried to scramble away. The soldier shouted that it was going to escape. Below, the creature shrieked for its life and begged itself to run. Gu Qingshan moved instantly. An intelligent monster could not be allowed to escape. He raised his bow and fired, the arrow cutting it off before it could clear the ground. He drew again and activated Secure, Locking his aim as the creature desperately tried to evade, Gu Qingshan loosed the arrow. It struck dead center, golden light tearing through flesh. The creature had no chance to scream. The bird monster hit the ground. Soul power +2. Current soul power, 3 out of 5. Gu Qingshan glanced at the number. Every kill was a step forward. He crouched over the fallen creature and examined it up close. Hollow, spiraling eyes. White feathers matted with dark blood. He muttered quietly, "What is this?" He pried open its claw and found a glowing red crystal inside. A voice rang out from it. The faceless giant and the blood-drinking army attack at full force toward the south. Gu Qingshan stared at it, jaw tight. This was a demonic army secret dispatch. That bird had been a messenger. The monsters had a target. Something did not add up. In the early days of the cultivation world, there had been no battles between humans and monsters. None at all. So why was the demonic army mobilizing now? Not a battle. A decapitation strike. They were not coming to fight an army. They were coming to kill someone. Gu Qingshan stared at the carcass, which people in history had been killed by monster ambushes in the early days. He turned to the soldier and asked what day it was. June 7th, the soldier answered, confused. June 7th. The date landed hard, he remembered. The sacred sect Supreme Elder, Grand Master of Formations, Gong Sunji, and the celestial sect Holy Maiden, Ning Yuechen. Both of them were supposed to die within the next few days. Their strength had been at the absolute top of the cultivation world. If they had lived, the human race might never have fallen. Their deaths had not been accidents. They had been removed. With his current cultivation, reaching those monsters was nearly impossible. But that thought did not break him. It was not only the apocalypse he wanted to stop. There were so many other things in this world he intended to change. Then the system spoke. Player Gu Qingshan had remained in this world for 24 hours. He would now be returned to the present world. He read it once. Read it again. The War God system could send him back. 2 notifications followed. All equipment stored in system inventory. Then the second line. Initiating return. His eyes went wide. He was not ready. Blue light swallowed him whole. Cold and brilliant. He clenched his teeth against the pull. One thought burned through it all. He was going back. The scene shifted to the present world. The Free Federation, Changning City. Sleek warships cut through the night sky above a glittering skyline. The world was still standing, still breathing. For now, Gu Qingshan materialized inside a grand hallway, surrounded by well-dressed people moving through golden light. He had arrived at his high school prom. He looked around slowly, taking it all in. His jaw tightened. This was his high school prom. He had returned to the world before destruction. The realization hit him fully. People laughed and chatted around him, completely unaware of what was coming. Then a voice cut through the noise. Someone called his name. Gu Qingshan. He froze. That voice, he knew it. He turned slowly, something old and buried stirring in his chest. Schwer. Su Shueva stood before him. His high school classmate. Eldest granddaughter of the Su family. One of the great noble houses of the 9th prefecture. She tilted her head and asked if it was true that his good friend Zhang Yi had something important to tell her on his behalf. Zhang Yi appeared beside him, grinning. He told Su Shuer that Qingshan had something very important to say. The crowd caught wind of it immediately. Whispers spread. Was Gu Qingshan about to confess to Su Shuer? The onlookers leaned in, eyes wide, already enjoying the spectacle. Gu Qingshan turned and looked at Zhang Ye with a cold gaze. In his previous life, Zhang Ye had stabbed him with a ring laced with aphrodisiac poison during this very moment. It had cost him everything. He had done unspeakable things to Shuer because of it. Because of that night, he had offended the Su family. There was no longer any place for him in the Free Federation. With nowhere left to go, he had fled to the Fuxi Empire. It was only when the cultivation world and the present world connected that he finally found a chance to turn his fate around. He stared at the shadow of that memory and set his jaw. This life, he would not repeat the same mistakes. Zhang Ye clapped him on the back and told him not to be afraid. Just say what he wanted to say. Gu Qingshan turned to Su Shuer. His voice was quiet and steady. Shuer, he said. I want to tell you something. The crowd perked up instantly. Someone called out that the show was starting, but what came out of his mouth was not a confession. He simply told her that when she had the time, she was welcome to come to his house for a meal. He wanted her to try his cooking. Su Shuer blinked. Just a meal, she asked. Nothing else? Gu Qingshan looked at her evenly. Yes, he said. Just a meal. Zhang Yi sputtered from behind him. Qingshan, he said. Didn't you tell me you wanted to confess to Su Shuer? Gu Qingshan did not even look back. He said flatly that he never said anything like that. Zhang Ye smiled to himself. This was not going according to plan. Time to get serious. He told Gu Qingshan not to worry. His good brother would help him out. Gu Qingshan grabbed Zhang Yi's hand before he could move. Zhang Yi stammered, asking what was wrong. Gu Qingshan looked at him. He said he should be the one asking that. He twisted Zhang Yi's arm and sent him crashing to the floor in one clean motion. The ring skittered across the ground. Gu Qingshan picked it up and held it in front of Zhang Yi's face. He asked what he was planning to use it for. Zhang Yi scrambled back, face pale, and insisted it was just a normal ring, nothing more. Gu Qingshan closed his fingers around the ring. In his previous life, he never knew who had been behind the attack. This life, he could use the Su family guards to find out. A voice cut in from the side. If Gu Qingshan was not going to confess, then he had no one to blame for what came next. Su Yi had arrived. Su Shue'er's 2 bodyguards stepped forward. Su Yi, sharp and cold. Old Li, steady and silent beside her. Su Yi looked at Gu Qingshan with flat eyes and reminded him that she only answered calls when Su Shue'er was in danger. Gu Qingshan held the ring up and told her to look at it first. Su Yi's eyes landed on the ring. Something shifted in her expression. Old Li leaned in and examined it carefully. Su Yi asked what it was. Old Li answered quietly. There was a powerful aphrodisiac on this ring. Su Shue'er heard the word and her face went pale. Gu Qingshan turned to the bodyguards and spoke plainly. He did not know who was behind it. But one thing was clear. Someone had wanted both him and Shue'er humiliated tonight. Finding out who was their job now, Zhang Ye scrambled to his feet and bolted. Gu Qingshan watched him go without moving. Su Yi clicked her tongue. Old Li said nothing. Then Su Yi moved. She caught up to Zhang Ye in seconds and brought him down hard, sending him skidding across the floor. Old Li's purple energy surged and wrapped around Zhang Ye's head. He spoke softly. Life was hard, he said. Why not enter a sweet dark dream? The energy tightened. Old Li told Zhang Yi that if he spoke the secret in his heart, every desire would be satisfied. Zhang Yi's eyes went blank and glowing. He said he would tell. He would tell everything. Su Shue'er watched and asked Gu Qingshan quietly if that was a Sky Select ability. Gu Qingshan nodded. Old Li was a Sky Select, he said. His ability was hypnosis. A definition appeared like a footnote. Sky Select, professionals in the present world who possessed unique abilities. Unlike cultivators, their power could not be awakened through cultivation alone. Old Li's eyes burned purple as he tightened his grip on Zhang Ye. He demanded to know who had ordered the attack on Shue'er. Zhang Ye broke immediately. He didn't know, he said. The other person had used an anonymous account. He was just hired to do the job. Gu Qingshan's eyes narrowed. Someone was pulling Zhang Ye's strings from the shadows. Old Li released his hold and turned away. He said simply that Zhang Ye knew nothing. Zhang Ye collapsed to the floor, gasping. Zhang Ye looked up at Gu Qingshan, voice cracking. He begged him to spare him, for the sake of their years of friendship. Gu Qingshan looked down at him. He said quietly that he believed him. Then he drove his knee into Zhang Yi and sent him crashing across the floor. He said their friendship was done. Zhang Yi slammed into the ground hard, scattering the watching crowd. The prom erupted in panic. Gu Qingshan turned to Su Yi and asked her to keep investigating whoever was behind this. Su Yi didn't even look at him. She told him she didn't need to be told. Su Shue'er stepped toward him and thanked him quietly for protecting her reputation. Qingshan shook his head. He told her he was doing it for himself, too. Su Shue'er watched him walk away, something flickering in her expression. She thought to herself that something about Qingshan felt different from before. Gu Qingshan pulled up the War God system. The hourglass had reset. It would send him back to the cultivation world before long. He turned it over in his mind. 2 problems sat heavy on him. Why the monsters in the cultivation world had begun moving was still unknown, and whoever had used Zhang Yi to come after him had covered their tracks completely. But one thing was clear. The War God system could move him between both worlds. He stared at the glowing hourglass and made his decision. He would use every window it gave him to prepare. He was going to stop the apocalypse. Outside the Changning Federation conference hall, a sleek combat mech cut through the night sky, rain streaking off its frame as it descended toward the entrance below. Zhang Yi crumpled to the ground, tears streaming, begging for mercy with everything he had left. Su Yi stood over him, unmoved. Old Li said nothing, just watched. The ship touched down on the landing pad, ramp extending in the rain. 2 figures boarded quietly, while a third silhouette stood apart in the dark, watching them go. A girl with warm eyes and bright hair waved from the open hatch. She called out to Gu Qingshan with a wide smile, told him goodbye and that they would meet again someday. Gu Qingshan watched the ship lift off into the night and thought quietly to himself. Whatever Zhang Yi had set in motion, the fallout in this life would hit harder than it ever did in his previous one. The tension finally left his shoulders. He looked out over the glittering skyline, hands behind his head, and let out a slow breath. He could go home now. Rest. He had been away from that little house for so long he almost forgot what it felt like. A shadow passed overhead. He looked up, brow furrowing. A second ship was circling above him, its beam cutting through the dark. The ship descended fast and landed hard, cracking the ground beneath it with a sound like breaking ice. Gu Qingshan stared at it. One word slipped out. What is this? He recognized the emblem on the hull immediately. 9th Prefecture, Ni family. This ship belonged to them. He stared at it, turning the thought over, unsure what to make of it. A butler in a crisp uniform stepped forward with a polished smile and extended one hand. He informed Gu Qingshan that the young master of the family was requesting his presence aboard the ship. Gu Qingshan stood his ground. He had no connection to the Ni family's young master. He could not figure out why someone like that would come looking for him. The door slid open. A young man inside turned and flashed a grin, smooth and practiced. He said one word, "Welcome." Gu Qingshan stepped inside. The interior was warm and dim. A young man sat at a low table, a girl in a red dress leaning over his shoulder. Gu Qingshan crossed his arms and spoke plainly. He had no idea what President Ni could possibly want from him. The young man looked up from the glowing display in front of him. His voice was easy and unhurried. Top student Gu Qingshan. The label set next to him on the panel. Changning Elite Private School. Student Council President, Ni Yun. Ni Yun read from the screen without blinking. Full marks in mechatectonics. Full marks in photon technology. Full marks in battleship navigation. Full marks in mechadynamics. He said each one like he was reading a verdict. The girl in red straightened up and added the rest. Distinguished member of Su family's Steel Armor Tech Company. She dropped a small card onto the table. An ordinary person reaching this level, she said, was the kind of thing that could earn genuine goodwill from someone like Su Shue'er. Ni Yun turned his face slightly to the side, voice dropping to something quieter. Every powerful family in the Federation wanted to marry into the Su bloodline. A person of Gu Qingshan's background, he said, should not let himself be tempted by her. Gu Qingshan looked at him without expression. His voice came out steady and flat. He asked what would happen if he were tempted. Ni Yun's amber eyes did not soften. He said the outcome would be very bad. It might even cost Gu Qingshan his life. Gu Qingshan went quiet. The pieces clicked together in his mind. If his connection to Su Shue'er threatened the interests of families like the Ni, then the poisoned ring at the prom was not random at all. These people had been the ones behind it. Ni Yun leaned back and let the silence sit. Then he smiled and asked what Gu Qingshan was planning to do next. Gu Qingshan did not blink. If Ni Yun liked Su Shue'er, he was welcome to pursue her himself. As for what Gu Qingshan intended to do, that was his own business and none of Ni Yun's concern. Gu Qingshan turned and walked out without another word. Ni Yun stared at his back. The butler stood perfectly still beside him. Neither of them said a thing. The door closed. Ni Yun's jaw tightened. He said nothing out loud, but the look on his face said everything. The moment Gu Qingshan was gone, Ni Yun leaned forward and asked how the arrangements were coming along. The butler answered without hesitation. Everything was in place. The butler's smile spread slowly across his face. Within the hour, Gu Qingshan would be dead. A staged accident. Clean and untraceable. The scene cut to the slums. Dark streets, broken signs, a full moon hanging low over crumbling rooftops. Gu Qingshan walked alone through it all, unhurried. He had 1 year before the cultivation world made contact with the present one. He needed to push his power as high as it would go before that day came, but the cultivation world was only half the problem. He glanced at the dark alley ahead. The malicious children of wealthy families were a threat he could not ignore either. A voice called out from behind him, easy and loose. "Hey bro, slow down." 3 figures stepped out of the shadows and blocked the way forward. One of them bumped into Gu Qingshan from the side. Gu Qingshan did not stop walking. He glanced at the man and kept going. The man spun around, green energy crackling along his blade, and sneered. Did this brat really think he could just walk away? The slash came fast and vicious, and Gu Qingshan knew instantly. This was no ordinary thug. He ducked under the swing and the blade carved through empty air above him. His eyes went cold. This man had come for him on purpose. Green and blue energy collided as the attacker lunged again. Gu Qingshan moved with him, reading every angle, closing the gap. He drove his palm forward, and the burst of blue spirit energy caught the man square in the chest, sending him stumbling back hard. Something clicked in Gu Qingshan's mind. His spirit power had responded. It had actually worked. The cultivation he had built in the cultivation world could carry over into the present one. The other thugs scrambled up furious. One of them shouted that this kid was not normal and told the others to bring him down together. Gu Qingshan glanced over and saw what they were pulling out. Guns. Real ones. His expression did not change, but the thought ran cold through him. These were not random criminals. He raised a staff, blue spirit energy coiling up its length like smoke, and spoke in a flat, certain voice. Then do not blame me for what comes next. The guns went off all at once, muzzle flashes tearing through the dark alley, 3 barrels firing at the same moment from point-blank range. Blue spirit energy tore through the alley in 3 savage bursts, each one faster than the last, cutting straight through the gunfire. The thugs went down one by one, crying out as they hit the ground. Their guns skittered across the pavement. The alley went quiet. Gu Qingshan stood over them, staff in hand, breathing steady. The last man lay face down at his feet. One of them scrambled up onto his knees and begged, voice cracking, pleading for his life. Gu Qingshan pressed the tip of the arrow against his face and told him to speak. Who sent them here? The man broke instantly. It was the Ni family's fierce tiger who hired them. Gu Qingshan stared at him. His eyes went cold and clear, just as he expected. Nian. The man on the ground screamed one last warning. Fierce Tiger was a martial master. Gu Qingshan had no chance against him. He needed to run now. Gu Qingshan turned it over in his mind. A martial master. If he could access his sword skills from his previous life, no opponent would be a problem. But something was blocking him. He pressed a hand to his temple, jaw tight. His head was splitting. He could not reach those memories no matter how hard he tried. He asked the system directly. Was it the one sealing them? The system responded. The host had not yet broken free from the void's surveillance. Until then, revealing those memories carried too much risk. He stared at the screen, expression hard and unreadable. He asked when he could get them back. The system gave its answer. The host needed to transmigrate to the cultivation world 1 or 2 more times first. Gu Qingshan exhaled slowly, 1 step at a time. This attempt had failed, but Niyun would not stop. More people were coming. His sword skills were locked away for now. That left only one option. He would fight with whatever the war god system could give him. The city spread out beneath the full moon, lights blinking across the skyline, quiet and unaware of what had just happened in its streets. Somewhere across the city, the butler stood in the dark with his phone, grinning to himself. He murmured the name Gu Qingshan with relish. He said tonight's arrangements would be something Gu Qingshan would never forget.